Yeah.
Is that Randy in Ohio? You're
Yeah.
live with Stephen A. Is that you, Randy?
Hey, Stephen A., how you doing?
Go ahead, man. How are you?
Good. Hey, I wanted to talk to you. You're in like the spotlight a lot, right? So I didn't really want to talk about sports, but I wanted to talk about how do you deal with all the negativity you get on the shows. I've been watching First Take since,
Hmm.
geez, you guys came on.
Right.
So I know you get a lot of hate and a lot of like. I'm just wondering how you deal with that.
First of all, there's a couple of things. Number one, people are full of shit. Okay. Most people don't hate me. I get a whole lot of love. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Most people, I would tell you 95% of the people that confront me is with nothing but love. So that's number one. Let's throw that out the way. Number two, trust in the decency of folks sometimes. I got to admit to you, Randy, my mother died in 2017.
Yeah, yeah.
God rest
Sorry
her
about
soul.
that.
I appreciate that, man. And when she passed away, I was never more vulnerable in my life. I was sad all the time. I was really depressed. I was going through a lot, particularly in the immediate aftermath of losing my mom.
Of
And
course.
what I remember most is the trolls and the websites like Deadspin, Awful Announcing, and Outkicks, and all of these other folks. I cannot express to you enough how decent all of them were. All of these folks that like crucified me from time to time and all, not one of them did that. Not one of them. And I've never forgotten it as long as I live, because it just reminded me that no matter how indecent or how crazy times get, the better part of us as humans come out far more often than we realize, and I appreciate that. But to answer your question directly, I will tell you this. You don't have to read the negative shit that people say about you all the time. Most times I ignore it. Most
Sure.
times, 9 times out of 10, I haven't even seen the negative comments. I don't know, don't care. Because to me, you have a right to express your opinion. And as long as you're not trying to get personal, I'm cool. And if you're trying to get personal, you're not somebody I'm going to talk to anyway. So I would just ignore it. And, we sometimes we contribute to our own demise because we allow stuff to get into our head and seep into our soul because we're giving credence and substance to shit that doesn't matter.
Just,
Another
yeah.
person's opinion about you doesn't really matter if they don't know you, bro.
No, for sure. Like, another question I have is because you just pointed, like, so I lost my job a couple months ago.
Okay.
I'm struggling, can't find something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really depressed, and it's struggling. And you just said that when your mom passed, you dealt with, you
Right.
had that depression and stuff.
Yep.
How did you get past that? Like, what did you do? Like,
Well,
you have,
I thought about, first of all, I thought about her belief in me, what her expectations were of me, and how insistent she was that I display the better part of me, particularly in the face of adversity. Anybody can do the things that they're supposed to do and exceed expectations when everything is rosy and adversity ain't at your front door. But when you have that coming at you, then you find what you're made of. First of all, before I even continue to answer this question further, what do you do for a living?
well, right now I just lost my job, unfortunately.
I know that, but I'm asking you, what job did you have?
I
What were
was
you
I was
doing?
working in a warehouse. They lost one of their
Okay.
biggest accounts, and
Mhm.
I got let go.
Okay, that's okay. Well, listen, let me break this down to you. There's a beauty in that too. Number one, you're gonna find out what you're made of and what you're not made of. And whatever you're not made of, you're gonna have the intestinal fortitude as one of God's children to continue to march forward. That's number one. Number two, here's what else you're gonna do. Okay? When you think about the fact that you lost a job, remember you got laid off because of the times we're living in. That's entirely different than being fired and somebody saying you suck and we don't like you. And oh, by the way, y'all shouldn't
True.
want him either. You see what I'm saying? You are a victim of the financial times and constraints that we're living in. So as a result, as times get better, and we hope and expect that they will, you'll be in a better position to capitalize off of it. You also got to pay attention to what's going on in the world. If stuff ain't going on in the warehouses because COVID is over and Amazon doesn't deliver everywhere all the damn time the way that they were when COVID was going on, and other jobs like that aren't available, you got to pay attention to the jobs that are available. And you got to go where that is. It's about following the money and it's about following the dollars. Okay. You got to always remember that. You got a lot of people that just want to do what they want to do, or do what their passion says they should do. But what you got to pay attention to is what's available, what opportunities lie in wait. And you got to make sure you position yourself to find one of those. That's how you go about the business of finding success. Because Mark Cuban once said this on social media, and I saw it. And he said it to me personally because I know him and I never forgot it. If you discover what you're great at, it's one thing. If you discover what you're successful at, that's another thing too. And there's very few people in this world that find something that they're successful at and they just walk away from it. You got to find that. Remember that. I got to run, but feel free to call back anytime. And thank you
I
for that
appreciate
call.
it.
No problem, man.
Thank you.